Hello, hello, hello. How goes it? How goes it? Shouldn't be. Okay. Just getting everything all set up here. I think I was supposed to be on yesterday, but I wasn't because my girlfriend was home, and whenever she has some days off, I tend to spend those days with her because she doesn't have very many of them. So, yeah, if you ever don't see me, that's usually why. Alright, we are back as the humans. We are fully native. We are 558 humans. Thank you, yes please. That is very, very kind of you. That is very sweet. I wish I could give you like a big... Let me see. What is my YouTube powers? I can pin that message. Yes. Okay. What else can I do? That's it. I can't give you like a big fucking huge gold star, but thank you. I appreciate that. No, seriously though. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We are going to get back into it. We've got lots of shit to get done. Natives coming in here. We have 558 native human babies. Look at that. Beautiful. That's what I like to see when I talk about friendship. This stuff right here, and then our environment. Pretty good. Pretty good. I think we could probably even do better, but like, I mean, how much fucking further do they need? I think that these could be like spread further maybe, but honestly I don't care too much for that. Right now we're focused on access, which is food servings, and housing obviously is easy, furniture, good stuff like that, clothing. Speaking of which, we have no leather, but we are producing 21 per day. That's what I call a conundrum. Is there a person? Okay, that's why. Get a person to work there. So, yesterday we did a little bit of different stuff at the end. Some rat-based side-scroller tower defense, whatever. That was fun. I think that I had a lot of fun on that one. I don't know if people enjoyed it as much as I did, but I went on to continue that game after, and I got pretty far. I got like 3 or 4 missions ahead. Probably 3. But I just kept grinding away. Cheese farming. It's a very good game though, I recommend it. I think the sale may have ended, but for people who have infinite value for their games like I do, they'll just buy whatever. It's definitely worth it. I just don't know why it was getting laggy, because the second I turned off the stream, it seems like the Elgato does work, but it's still not the most powerful beast that I wanted it to be, which was supposed to be like the thing to solve all my problems. But it certainly has made certain games more accessible for sure. But for the most part, I remain a 6 streamer, a 6 gamer. But I do really like this game. Like right now where we're at, I'm excited to actually hit noble status, because this is the first time we've gone back around as the humans to do, you know, actual work with them. Here, let's put another guy here. We have no coal. There's coal there stored. Some more people here. Seems like I put tiny little houses over here. What was my thinking for this? I want to go back and ask myself, why did you choose one bunch of apartments when you could have just done a single house? And then we could probably put another one further over here, just to spread them out. It's gonna bother me if that's not fixed, so we'll do it now. And then we build them a nice little road. Once we get a governor noble, though, we'll be balling out of control. We're gonna have like too many problems in the terms of like way too much shit coming in. It's like we still have a very good amount of wood coming in, even despite having like, I think it's low tier wood. What the fuck? Alright. Woodtown. I think that their primary actual good is coal. The difference is, though, that the workers that I would retain from coal, we might switch them over to coal once we upgrade them. We'll give them mainly coal. Right. Let's give them a new hearth to match their new region. Is that perfect? Oh, it is. Oh, baby. You don't get those too often. We'll put a little road here. The most dreaded and hated type of road, 2 lanes, but I don't give a fuck. I love 2 lanes. I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. 2 lanes is optimal for like main, like side roads, I should say. Main roads have to be odd numbers, but side roads could be doubles, or even, sorry, like this one here. And I'm pretty sure I was gonna fix that, just because of the fact that it's the alignment here. Them walking through there is also a problem. They ideally need like maybe 10 spaces away from their next wall. I don't know how optimally I'll try to do that, because technically what works best is buildings like this, because there's no space outside of it, right? The distance here. Okay, I kind of got an idea how I should do with it, and also should probably just do this here, like that. Because coal's not as important currently, but we are going to need a lot eventually. Also, we need a reach. Ooh. You're wood region. Okay. Rose Luna doesn't really like me as much as the other guy. $27,000 we become colleagues, which will give me an opinion and a tariff, I believe. I mean, that's really fucking cheap for what I have. So now they're colleagues with me, right? I hope that gives me better access to, like, value from him. Either way, we have a crap load of spears to sell. So we're gonna sell those. How the fuck do I have so many spears? Okay. And then our army might not have enough to actually field a good army. They're only 15 guys, but they're fucking badass, actually. And then there's 30 here. There's 150. I need an additional group. But if I go for anything else, I'm just gonna go for something like these 2 guys. Do I think I could kill 150 Trumps with 45 people? Yes. I think I can do it. This is the fiend test. I think I can do it. I don't even think they're gonna try to fight me. Let's give this guy a little bit more money, because what do I have to lose but nothing here? These aren't even my boys. So technically, they die. And we just lose them as mercenary groups. So they outnumber us 3-1. I have beaten worse odds with lesser troops. Let's see what we can do here, though. Is it one whole group? Aw, they're dead. I'm going to cut them to pieces. It's time for the Pinceroni. We let them come to us. Matter of fact, you know what? I should have had my guys be further back. It's okay. Why stand in a line and not try to hit their flanks from both sides? Because they'll start doing weird stuff. I kind of have an idea how I want to do it. They're gonna have to charge, right? So I want them to kind of straighten themselves out here. That's not how you're gonna do it. Like that. We're creating the middle pocket here, trying to, right? Have them both move quickly, actually. Waiting for the charge. Oh, also, they fucking always start and lose formation. That was their chance to try to do something. Well. Enjoy your formation bonus. While it fucking lasts, you chumps. Cut them down in mass. Good, they turn their flanks to the right one. So we just cut them down from there. Keep these guys in a group here. As long as we're in at least a two-layer line, we're pretty good. They've already killed 3 people, but they've lost someone. I think they lost someone from the charge itself. Damn, the Telepi are pretty aggressive. I'll give them that. Alright, put pressure on them from here if they're gonna move that way. Nope. Here. These guys are a little bit more powerful than I expected. Just get them to form up together, get their boost. Try to keep them in like a pocket here, cut inside the flanks of one. They seem to be a little tougher than I expected. But they are only wearing leather armor on that other group there. So it makes sense. Now, if these were Dundarian Chads, this would be a whole different ballgame. Need to get their formation back. Keep the morale up. Oh, they're losing morale too. So the numbers gives them a huge morale boost. Oh no. They're actually getting me. Form a line, bros. .74. Okay. They're losing their morale from that. Because they were gaining morale from... No, no, no. That group is breaking. These guys are the ones that seem to be breaking first. But they're kind of our like tank unit right now. I don't think there's a way we win this, but we could wear them down. They don't have much exhaustion. It's because of their Telepi nature. They seem to be a little more, like, aggressive. Look at them. They're just, like, pressing us. I didn't think that their mass would actually help them so much. And the fact that we have warhammers against spears, I think, is what's also not helping. At this point, we just gotta keep it all. Try to squish them. Trying to check the morale of them. Yeah, no. They got their morale back, though. Killed a fair number of them. Whenever I'm hovering over them, I'm just checking their morale. Make sure they're not about to collapse. It's like these guys are backing up, though. Not collapsing, but... That's what I was hoping they would do. The amount of micro in this battle. Yeah, kill that fucking specific guy there. Kill him. Alright, there's 10 kills. Their flanks being compromised is helping. Whenever we see like a corpse get knocked down like that, that's somebody getting killed. And they seem to break off in smaller numbers from the back there to try to protect it. The battle isn't over yet. Turtle up. Get your formation back. No! Pull back, pull back. Alright, get back. Our rangers can't die here. We need them. This is basically the battle of the morale. Down to 10 men. Keep pulling back, don't get your flanks. It's the casualties. If we take any more casualties in that other group, we're definitely gonna lose. I don't think we're killing enough fast enough. The other group, we're just gonna have to save up or pay for them. Come in here and take it with the... Get back some of your morale, please. I don't think they can. Where are you guys going, you fuckheads? Try to get the boys to support each other now. Because these are the ones that were doing all the killing. Guys with huge training and experience, they have like piss poor morale. Numbers is essentially the best morale boost, it seems like. It's the exhaustion. It's truly getting to him. Come on, my boys. If we had just one more group, we would have won. I don't think it's possible. Because they just keep pressing us too hard. They don't even seem close to exhausted. Everyone take a man. Kill them. They're gonna collapse or die. Fight. It's okay. It depends. Yes, please. I do a couple different things. First failures. I like to make most of the things that I am getting, but I use region taxes to get that, and that's kind of why I just bum rushed this position here, Winkinfield, so that I could actually, you know, take advantage of all the materials that they're going to give me. So I'm willing to spend a large portion of my materials into potentially buying mercenaries, but I don't think I can. I simply just don't have enough to purchase a mercenary. We also lost our army there, so we have to make a new one. Yeah, it's just simply too much money, so I have to probably start saving or stop spending. But I don't like to spend money on things, especially in this game, because you tend to get, like, overworked pretty fast just by, like, these two alone. That can cost you a lot of money. So I'm gonna actually turn them off, but I'll keep it there. But, like, that's the most. I'll probably do raw resources, you know. I'm not gonna do certain other goods. But if it's like over 100, I probably won't also import it. I'd rather slow burn and grind and make the difference. And now might be a good time to also set up. Technically, you don't need to use a lot of technology for a lot of these things that you're doing, like specifically designing your city's like economy. If you look, for the most part, I haven't put innovation into anything except for the tools for farming, just so that I have very good farms. But eventually I'm going to try to switch that innovation out if I can get a region that produces me grain or something along those lines. Because the thing I've found is that having the grain supplemented in your city is nice, having the region imports is nice, but you also might even need to have an import depot just to import price, like to finish the remainder out for the grain or whatever, especially as you get higher tier buildings and stuff, or later in the game I should say. So like I'll set this for 100, but I think that's definitely where I do better, is because of my like trader brain, and I'm pretty good at it. At least I think so. How about you fuck off, buddy? Actually, that's pretty good. That's $43,000 worth of leather. No, that's a lie. But still, I'll trade you all of my leather. Save a little bit for ourselves. Trade this. Maybe there's an army, a new mercenary army, because sometimes they pop new ones in. So we need at least $246,000. Yeah, I agree. Actually, you know what I might do? We have rations. We have spears. We have leather armor. I could send 2 50-man groups of 40 melee training, and I think that they would beat them up. We were damn close before. Okay, so what we need to do is access, close, turn those off, and then this guy's leather. I have a smith. I don't have masons. The only reason I have this cut stone is because I have a region that's taxed cut stone. It's kind of like an event thing. I have not spent anything. This is my entire city for 600 people. This is it. There's this little coal mine down here for some coal. There's a little bit of stone up here for some stone. Then I have a cotton little weaver warehouse, and then a baby maker next to him. But I could probably do with putting Taylor in here instead. The baby makers are important, but I also need to have clothes, because I need to start sending boys out to the world map here. Does this fit? No. But yeah, no, I've mastered the art of not doing anything in this game because if you do, you get fucked up for it. I had gotten what's it called? I had schools. I had all that stuff. Like I literally had schools early, and because of that, not having the people on like farms and stuff, my people started to suffer. So I had to just I cut the difference there. There's only room for. It's the same how I have all native people. I was trying to like populate, have natives do all that stuff, educate them, have like the boost from that. But it's gonna take, I think, to the maybe once I pass like 600, I have like a decent surplus. Come on, you bastards. Finish this up. Where did all my people go? Oh, they're all training. 520. You know what? Actually, I'll send the elite troops too. I'll send 120. If I don't get to the 200 by then. Literally, the only thing though I'm buying is fruit. That way that my babies don't accidentally starve to death and I lose the progress that I have with them. Because humans take 80 days. Kinda. No, I have raids plus plus. So my raids are on hard plus plus. So theoretically I should be getting raided more often. Like my raids. Oh, I see. It just lowered it to 0.75. But, oh my god, it's all the numbers of this game, bro. Just because of the setting, it just lowered it. Instead of getting attack root surprise. So basically, I just seem to... Okay, it's basically like you need to have a bigger, better army. Eventually, I think that's going to get me fucked up and killed. Because the game sends, like, super elite mega troopers after you. But the only reason I'm going for military or trying is because of that. We also have this metal being produced here. Where is my smelter? Pretty sure smelter's over here. I have very tiny industry. This is my industry right here. It's spear maker, tool maker, or sorry, metal maker, and then smithy. And the smithy is doing just tools right now. He doesn't have metal available, so we'll give him some of these guys. Alright, we'll take that out. Those babies that were in there should just get transferred over, I believe. Alright, and then what I want to do is copy you, and then we will build a crafter, tailor. Storage bench. We are not going to need that many people doing this job, so just do that for now. I guess you're right, though. I am kind of a Roman strat. I've been wanting a Roman game for a long time, and a good friend of the channel I always mentioned, Goon, has been working on it. Not to, like, rush him. He's been working on in his spare time for a mod for 6 to be like a full Romanization of the game, which would be dope and sweet. Hell yeah, brother. Rome. But we're mostly agrarian here. Like, pretty much just still in the, like, early Stone Age, but we have furniture and the metals being produced, but I'm not making spears with metal. I'm doing stone. Speaking of stone, how you doing over here? What's going on? 19 per day, and there's not any stone here. What's happening? We're at 84. I don't think we're gonna be able to send our boys in time, but who knows. I also don't know if I really want to risk sending the boys. Red Waters. Well, that's not good. So we have 6 guys working there. How many fabrics? Yeah, we definitely need to boost our fabric production, right? So what I think I'll do is this. We'll wait for the year's harvest, and then I'm going to expand it kind of that way, like an L. And then we'll have a larger weaver for the production of clothing. And technically it would be better to use leather early on, but I'm just using fabric because I have it available. Why is the heart not blocking? What do I do when I can only read like the part where it says what do you about health when the city is 1k. So technically there's a couple different ways you can deal with it, right? So you look, I have 600 or roughly 600 people. I'm at 1.4 on that total. So 1 plus the or times 1.4 is going to be obviously that. So food servings and wells added together makes that 1.4. I guess them like the average between them or the medium. My population at 0.90, so by the time you're 1,000, it's probably about like 0.75 or something like that. It's gonna off-put that. So you have to keep that off-put by having either food servings, which is the easiest way to do it. And the kind of strat that I've been going for is this ration building. So I have a building designed for just production on rations. So they make bread, they produce rations, they store rations. That's it. And that is producing food days stored, so that the game thinks that I have, 20, 30 days or whatever stored food. And that way I can maintain 100 food in my storage right here, which technically seems very low, but it's stored in rations. So the idea is that my food servings have been boosted. So by maybe 1,000 population, you'd probably want to have 2 food servings. And you only want to do 2 food servings when you have 30 food days. So when you hit 30 food days from storing rations, then you can go and add that extra food serving. And it's going to drop it to like 28 or 24 or whatever. And then you're going to have to just keep building more rations. So like right now I'm at 0.45 or whatever per day. But you see I'm making a pretty decent amount, like 300 or 32 bread or whatever. The challenge here is the output from every time I have a new baby turn an adult, they add another 1.5 to the total needed food. And as I've been growing, I haven't been really adding people here, so I should probably add 2 more. I have a large bakery designed for that purpose. But the biggest challenge if you're playing humans is that you need to keep a selection of food. So like meat. Meat is something that if you're only relying on bread, you'll start to suffer. So you need to start to try to expand into different food sources if you can. No, they don't eat the MREs. They don't eat rations. So the rations here make me call them MREs. The rations are so in normal games, there's no need for a food storage, right? There's really no need for like days of food, particularly for the needs of the citizens. It might be for your own personal playing style, like you want to see 10,000 food stored or whatever. But in this particular game, it's not necessarily explained that you need to have food stored in rations. It just says that you need to have days of food, and that's why it's one of these tabs here, and you click it, and you can see the consumption rate. And a lot of people will sit here and look and they're like, what the fuck, consuming this much food, and how am I supposed to store all of this food? And the way that it's set is basically you want to have them not eating rations. They are not allowed to consume it, and they are also not at these buildings. If I was in like a dire straits moment, and that's what those are for. Essentially, if your food situation gets absolutely nuked, then they can eat rations if they're about to starve. It's like their last resort. But they are eating bread regularly, and they're eating fruit daily too. They have the fruit orchard now over here, which is fucking actually producing a ton of fruit. So I could probably turn this off. Probably get an extra... You know what I need actually is a real fruit warehouse. But it's hard because, like I said, this stuff isn't explained. The fundamentals of like 6 aren't like, oh, you need to make rations to survive. Build rations. It's more like, hello, welcome to my game. Good luck. It doesn't say or do anything. It doesn't like give you... the tutorial maybe tells you to build rations, but I don't believe it does. I believe that it kind of just gives you like, build a farm, you know, craft bread, or smelt bread or whatever, fucking refine it. We might be able to purchase that army now, because my biggest thing is I don't want them to take those regions. It looks like these guys are all collapsing anyways, though. 297 or 246,000, I should say. Hello, sir. I'd like to become broke. Thank you. Thank you. That's 50. I need 200,000. Closer. Closer. I'm also gonna need money to maintain these fuckers. I can't sell the rations. That'd be foolish. Alright. Give me the money. Exactly. The rations. This isn't me though. I'm not the genius. This is just what I was told. I didn't think of this. If I was that smart, I would claim it. I'd be like, oh, I'm the smartest man alive. But I'm not. Now the problem here is that I can't get... Fuck, I should have started my army in that region. Now the fucking bastard. Fuck. Why is this game do this? Region control is so bad. You should start with your own region. But instead, you start with a capital that's in somebody else's region so that you automatically piss them off. So, like, the way that works, it confused me a little bit too when I started and I did it the first time. I was confused and I didn't understand why the rations mattered, what it mattered, but it's more of like they decay at such a slow rate, and when you're producing food like bread, okay, lots of bread, the excess bread is going to rot. It's 50% per year rotting, right? So whatever bread you don't utilize is going to go bad. You can actually keep these guys back here, let them come to us. And in order to maintain your production and your servings and all that stuff, you want to have like a good number of bakers, but you also want to have people eating it, and you want to be using it for stuff by making rations. So like the biggest challenge is like, okay, how much? Where I'm at right now seems to be a good number, but once I get my nobles for those, it's going to become like way more bread than I ever know what to do with, so I can boost the fucking shit out of it like it doesn't matter. Truthfully, these chumps are about to get their asses handed to them, I believe. Yeah, we've got this. They will consume, like, if there was a problem, they would consume 2, like, if you had ration or food servings at 2, they would consume 2, but that is better than having like 10% of your population, or sorry, 30% of your population will get sick and die in a plague if you don't have, or any kind of, for the most part, like event, and you need to have them on curfew. If you don't, then they will die really bad. And having the food servings just basically avoids that altogether. So we're back again, these fuckers. But we have a new group, and this time I've got something for them. Some flank action here. How about this, you fuckers? Come here, no, come back here. Get back here. I'm not fucking done with you. Yeah. Where's your morale now, huh? Kill them. Kill them all. Surround and slaughter these fucking assholes. I want them dead. Who do you think you are, trying to escape me? Who the fuck do you think you are, trying to escape me? I spent all I had on this. Who do you think you are? These celebs don't have no fucking answer for that question. Man to man, there's no such thing as a Telepi. They aren't even men. I don't consider them my equal in a sense. The only reason why they won was because they had more of them than us. By 3. Actually, we'll change the history books. It was 100 times more Telepi in the last battle. And 300 brave humans stood against 1 million Telepi scum. And after the battle was over, we had lost. We had to recover and send 1 billion gajillion humans to slaughter the elves. That's how the history books read. Absolutely truthful. Documented and proven and everything. It's $57,000 to upkeep these guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that for another day or two. Ah, shit. He's not going to be able to get to the capital before they... This is why mercenaries are actually just dog shit tier. And kind of just not worthwhile at all. Unless they're like, how about you fuck off? I'm sorry I walked through your territory. See, yep, they're gonna immediately get him. Oh, thank God, yes. Thank God. Occupy. So, I just have to do this. It's not gonna work out well for me here, but... Actually, yeah, the region will just stay mine with the army in it. That's good. You said that oh no. Oh no, you'd sell out humans? Uh-oh. This guy would sell out fucking humans for Telepi. Man, the fuck? How could you? Nah, I believe it. Snoo is hard to beat. We're so close to hitting noble rank. I honestly might just get 50 people. It hurts. You all stink. Get out of my city. Wait. I need 50 more. It's okay. I can't be patient anymore. So we go for someone who is a young adult. 5.5. You. You. Hell, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And then this guy. Alright. So. You, governor. Probably governor. Grain farm. Fruit farm. Baker. Okay. Right. We want to make sure these guys don't rebel imminently here. So we got those guys there we can do that with. Then the upgrade for this region. Oh, we can actually go straight for that one. Okay. Now, what I want to do is actually... We don't need this part of town anymore. Goodbye. Reason I'm killing all these people so that they don't potentially rebel. There you go. Just the Talapis who are angry right now. Yeah, I might have to just slaughter them. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now we can this. Try to get these dumb fucks happy. So now, bro, go away. Stop it. Now we're in a good spot. We gotta start getting our taxes coming in. We'll never have to worry about fucking coal ever again, that's for sure. 120 a day. Alright, take this. Do they not give me any taxes? Oh. Because of the beautiful system in this game's fucking... It just killed them all because I had changed it. That's sweet. I love that. So we should be getting 5k a day from those guys. Got fruit in abundance. That's fine, Rosalana. We'll be friends again in no time, don't worry. So now with the new baker system, we'll probably put 8 guys in here. Yeah. Let's look at the bread. See, and then he comes with like a fair ask after it all, and I usually accept. What do you mean I'm taxing the fuck out of him, dog? You talking about Winkenfield? Fuck you. Give me all your money. This guy too. Fuck you, give me all your money. Give me my money. I think it's basically the same rate for either. The more buildings you have, the less tax rate you get. Alright, this guy's getting a little happier. Oh, I see. You're basically paying their salary with the tax rate. But that's better than what the alternative would be. I don't give a damn. son. How about that? Oh yeah, we were supposed to expand our weavery. I'll triple tax them. I'll tax their next 30 generations. We could technically, I think, get the next... Oh, it's 25. Just waiting for this so that I can change it. They love to be taxed anyways. I asked them personally. They said, please, can we have higher tax rates? We feel that we're not contributing enough to society. They said, are you guys sure? They said, we want nothing more than to support your fiendship. I said, well, alright then. And then the rest is history. It depends. If I'm playing with a specific intention in mind, I usually will try to get over 1,000. If I'm just playing for fun, like on my own, I will stay below 1,000. But for the most part, I feel like you're constantly forced to get a higher population, regardless of how you feel about it. So we could do that here. Wait, you were supposed to have good wood, bro. Fuck. It's 20,000 dinar. Oh, I see why we can't get it, because we just spent 20,000 there. I wish you got a refund for it, but nope. So I can get rid of these guys. Look at that. They're still happy as hell. They are beyond happy to be taxed. Can't say I blame them. You know? Where are some of our homeless people? They seem to be spending their free time all over the place. So there's some zones over here we could probably utilize. Take this out of here. Right now, though, I'm actually trying to go for, like, the biggest and the bestest human city I could possibly make. And I think I'm doing alright so far. We're gonna take this out. We're gonna change this. We're probably gonna turn it into a couple houses, maybe like 4 or 5. Probably 6 or something. We need to fit some new housing for all these people living here. Also, I think there's no foundation over here, so may as well put... Was intentionally trying to do duplexes. Maybe have to do a triplex. Yeah. Just like we did with the other. And then we'll put a fence along here. Oh my god. I love that the game switches out materials. Just keep it on stone. been using stone this entire time. So put a little road through the back. Oh, I thought I had trees in these yards. I guess not. They used to care about privacy in the older version of the game. So privacy was something that, depending on the race, they cared about. Now in the game, privacy is not an issue. They don't care. But it was also a very contended feature that a lot of people did not like. Like most, if not all, the races didn't like neighbors or living with other species. So you'd end up with like cities where the whole thing is just apartments. And they look pretty bad. But it also kind of worked into what their race was, which would have been like, some of them liked noise, specifically like the Dondarians, but I think they liked privacy, so you could put like apartments inside of like your carpenter building. So like the 3 or whatever 12 guys you want to put in there. But it doesn't always work. It didn't work very well. A lot of people were unhappy with that feature. I kinda didn't really like it. I've always liked the privacy a little more than I liked roundness as a feature. I thought roundness was pretty bad. Because it doesn't really make sense. Not in the sense of like, I don't understand roundness, but more so that the way it's interpreted or posed in the game. But now it's just purely what you want. See, I haven't even put a lavatory in. And I probably should. Now, after all this time, I haven't had one. Gonna be for the vast majority of people, so try to set it up for that. Honestly, that's pretty good. I always build big bathrooms. I don't like having to worry about making lots of bathrooms everywhere, but I think that's the glory of this game, though. With certain things, you can kind of get away with that. Like, you could build, like, here, for example, I could have a 60-man or whatever, 120-man bathroom, but I've decided to just go big for the vast majority of the bakers and everyone who lives over here. Hopefully that works out. Should. They didn't have the service before, and that's gonna give them a boost to their health again. Alright, I want to create a couple more. Oh wait, expand these two guys. Give them some this. One of these. How are my regions doing? I could probably switch and add things here. So he is good enough to upgrade to level 3. We have 20 more points. I think I should... it's 10 more actually. They captured these regions, but he is... within our reach. I think I should wait. Keep the 2 that I have. Because I could do fruit orchards. Produce me 153, but that's going to be yearly. Well, that solves that problem there. I could take this out. 46 ore is better than what our guys are doing, I believe. I think I just keep the rest for taxes. Keep my money up. Because what are they making currently? They're mining 12. So let's just, you know, turn this off. Matter of fact, we'll just get rid of that. We don't really need that. Why do this? Because it counts for the space there. If there's space they have to go through, it's going to make a space problem. So we're just going to fill it in. Alright. Cotton might be a good one to get. It's only 104. You need a ox pasture unlock. I think I could do that. The question is, do I want the onks? My ultimate goal is to switch out humans from the tasks they don't like doing. Which includes jobs like this. Or maybe I just switch them over to make meat. Because I have labor, extra labor. There's 50 guys I can train here. There we go. Nice big old road going down here. It's gonna need to be some more space for people to live. Because what I'm thinking is that we could even just... The thing about those is, even at a small level, right? So like, for example, we don't need the amount of wood that we're getting. Like that, I think. It's gonna off-put it pretty well. And the best part is that these guys won't have to do any of the collection for these jobs. So they can primarily focus on these jobs here. 1 second. To respond to my girlfriend there. What do we need to start thinking about doing here? The next population boost, 1,000. What's our babies? There's no babies being made because it'll push us past our limit, which is fine. Let's give these guys access to clothes now. Put those in the market. I don't know if I need to make a bigger market here. Probably not. How we doing on fabric? Alright, pretty good. Expand our production. Sorry, I'm just checking something in the background here. Making sure everything is okay. Not on the stream's side. Oh. Sure, dude. Are you my neighbor? Now I have a new neighbor. Doesn't seem like they want to be my friend. This guy, right? Yeah. Oh, because we're colleagues, I see. Alright. Multitasking really bad over here. I loathe it. Like I said, though, people seem to leave all of the things to when I'm doing something personally. Like, I literally spend my entire day doing absolutely nothing. Alright, there we go. That should be the end of my interruption there. Needed to basically put more money on my account for something. And my phone is the absolute slowest, most miserable phone. Get the fuck out of here, Precise Cabbie. I will fucking hate you. I will send you to oblivion. Not ever do that. See, they do block it sometimes. I don't understand Twitch. The fuck? The fuck is that, bro? Get the fuck out of here. Where are these accidents coming from? Can I fit more people in the smelter? Yeah. This guy's gonna need a little bit of coal. Oh wait, there's coal there, never mind. No, I had to do it for my girlfriend. I have no homies. I purposely designed my life around not having any homies, as they tend to not, you know, value your time or energy or anything you do for them. Tend to, not always. There's always exceptions to the rules there, as I almost choked to death. What the fuck kind of name is this? Cabell? I might take him. Like, what kind of group is that? 135, 82% experience, but 7% training. They're technically the cheapest group possible, though. Alright, let's stop selling the goods that we care about. Start selling shit we don't care about here. Is that enough for that army here? I think so. Nope, there, 230. I guess that's true in the sense, but from my perspective, you know, people tend to, I guess you're right. I never thought of it that way. Without being like my initial response is typically nay at most responses. But I guess it should be right. Yes, you're correct. But I find it harder to help pull other people up when I think that for the vast majority they don't really see or understand where I'm coming at them from. What is up, Miguel Lebreu? Doing? Sorry, you're in the midst of a philosophical thought. Is it Lebreu? How do you say it? I can't imagine. You can't really tell me, but I'll imagine it's Lebreu. I don't know if you're French though. You could be Spanish, which would make it a little different. So what we want to do is probably just have them back here in a big nice line so that when they come, they get fired upon. Make sure that they'll fire. Alrighty, we should be good. Come and get somebody. They fired and missed, it appears. Well, that's not good. It takes them quite some time to reload. They're basically already at our fucking bases and we haven't even done any damage to them. These guys suck ass. Ah, I figured you were from somewhere near there. And, no, yes, I've had very good men in my life for the most part, but I've also had a lot of bad ones, too. And I guess I took the most of the bad guys' views and stuff, but I don't know. I guess the best example, I think I just have to physically fight these guys. The best example I have is, like, as a kid, I often got angry at people and I couldn't understand why they behaved, you know, negatively or poorly. Like, because I can withstand a lot, but at a certain point, people say or do things that get me fucking riled up. But I guess in the sense of, like, if they're a person who's a man or a woman in our generation or within, like, a younger age group, I tend to be far less hostile or discriminating towards them. It sounds fucked up, but I have a very big issue with, like, older people, especially, like, the way they deal with people, their issues, you know. I can't stand a lot of people like that. So I guess, like I said, my first reaction would be if there's a person who's a younger person who's needing help, I wouldn't be like, fuck you, go figure it out. I would offer every ounce of my thought process to help them. But if it's like an older person, I would try the same, and they would be like, fuck you, you're a kid, you don't know what you're talking about. And at that point, I'd usually, and it's probably normal, I'd just ignore them. Or potentially become outright hostile. I might have to just do the old bull in a whatever bull strat here as they run past us. But I had a lot of really good people. It's more my upbringing. Surprisingly, a lot of bad women figures in my life. Not girlfriends, familial. And I've talked about it to friends before, but I believe there's a case to be made that men who are affected more by, like, women issues are better with men in dealing with them. Specifically, like, as a leader. And that goes back pretty far in history. Come on, shoot these guys. I mean, we aren't getting killed by them. It just might take a little while. Wait, do they have... They look like they have flanks, but they don't. Come at me, bro. Why do I sit off foot from them so that if they charge me, I can kind of move easier? The only people potentially get hit are these back guys. Come on, you fucker. See, they were literally holding that firing thing for like two extra seconds there at the end. These guys should be exhausted too. They've done a couple charges in a row now. I think that was supposed to be a charge. But on the topic that we were chatting on, it's something that I've actually considered talking about, as like I have a unique insight into like a lot of these types of issues, not more or less than anyone else, or maybe more than some but less than others. And I've kind of wanted to, like you said, they help others, because I see like there's a huge contingent of men that are like, the only way to succeed is to be as fucking fiscally, financially, get as many bitches as possible, kill and slaughter as many enemy men as possible. And they're like, yes, exactly, yes, please. Sorry, what you're saying is correct. I have to read it. That's why I think that it's not the men who did it to me, it's the women. Like, my grandma is probably, like, the biggest culprit, but there are a lot of other characters. I have a unique upbringing, so I think about maybe 5% of my childhood was spent, maybe far less, actually, was spent with family. The rest would have been spent with other people's. A vast array of different people, which gives me a lot of insight into the other people's lives. Because typically when you live with someone, they expose themselves, not in that fashion, but like they let you into their inner workings without knowing. And people don't probably analyze their family as much, but I happen to just analyze people in general. Hence why I wanted to do it as a thing, but I don't know, like, I've always struggled, like, where do I get in? I don't want to be the guy that's like, today I'm going to preach to you. I'm going to preach to you about what I've been through and what I believe and what I think. And I don't think that's necessary. I like the format where I'm at here, where it's like, people can ask me questions, and then I respond, rather than me directly expressing what I feel. Because then I'll start to sound like a fucking politician or a leader or something. But it's true to the, I believe, like I said, men who are affected by women tend to be better leaders. And I'm one of the few, or one of the types who doesn't like leadership or responsibility. So I'm like always like an antithesis to my own, or I guess that might not be the term, but like I'm always an anti to my own self. Yes, please. I was not directly by, like, they didn't die as, like, I was a little child and I got put into an orphanage, but I was in orphanages as a young child, yes. Good guess. You're actually spot on. I would consider myself one, and that's kind of where my perspective comes from, and the reason why I'm a freak and a fool. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm blessed to have been able to experience another, like, alternative form of life, which technically would have been a very common experience, 100 years ago. Holy shit, look how slow we're moving now because we're so exhausted. I don't think we could physically beat them up in a fight. I am, though, the direct result of parents making bad decisions for their children and not having, I guess, foresight. Yeah, foresight. When two people who are like the candle that burns the brightest meet, they create a fiend-like creature. And that's kind of what happened. And as a direct result, I am kind of an amalgamation of characteristics. Because, like, my mother's side, my maternal side is all women. Like, I'm not even playing with you. They're, for the vast majority of them, all women. And that kind of, they're like suffragette type women. Like old Catholic Irish. So they're pretty brutal. Yeah, I always put it into perspective, like, there are other people who live in countries where if I was in the same predicament, I would probably be worse off in another country. I was lucky to be born into, like, the greatest state in the United States, or one of the best states. at least in my opinion. So I always take everything with that. But I typically will get frustrated. Like I said, I don't punch down, I punch up. I get more frustrated with people who have a lot and then complain. Like fucking Bam Margera. That dude drives me wild. I can't stand people who have like great parents, great upbringing, great everything, and then they're just like, my life sucks because of one bad thing that happened to me, and it's definitely not my own actions the entire time leading to this point. But that friend of yours probably understands my experience, which was mostly reading and writing about feelings and emotions and things that I was going through and what I was, you know, like paperwork, tons and tons of paperwork. I was always doing it as a child. In books. I was forced to have books. So I didn't get a TV, I didn't get a game board or anything, I just got books. Cards. And solitaire. Stuff like that. No toys. They didn't believe in that, most of them. It's very strange. For someone born in like the early 2000s, I lived like a 1930s fucking poverty-stricken person from the fucking South Midwest.
That's okay. That's why I'm a true gamer now.
This has been the actual longest battle. I love archery. It's fun. I think I could play it at 2x speed and just kind of do this. I think though that if I had actually met friends or made friends within the system, I probably would have came out a little. I made few, but it's a thing that not many people get to experience or understand. And then when you leave it, you're just kind of like left in a daze. And that kind of like institutionalism that happens there is probably like the worst aspect. All I wanted was a fucking Pepsi, you know. Instead, it's given meds. Thank God I don't have those stuff. I was able to get them off like fucking 20 years ago almost. They try to get kids like 4 years old onto that shit. Oh no. They've been like, you have major issues. Here you go. Why is he all of a sudden the worst ever? Yeah, let's just fucking start pummeling him. I think we could pummel the shit out of him at this point. Because we can't just beat the living daylights out of him without blows. It shouldn't even have much morale anyways. Yeah. But that's good of you to recognize. Yes. And have a good friend like that, or have a friend like that. I do have very good friends, for sure. Very small selection of them, though. Get the fuck out of here. But now you probably could see why I would want to start something in that realm of like, I guess it would be like motivational speech or motivational content in a fashion. Yeah, it's cool that you're a Marine, actually. That's very sweet. I was scouted a lot as a child to be joining the military. And then I would always state, do you really want to have somebody who had my background? And I'd explicitly state to them what my background was. And they'd look at me and they'd scoff and kind of laugh. And they're like, you're smarter than you seem, huh? And I was like, yeah, not as much as you think. And then I would kind of just move on. Because I am intelligent, but I'm not responsible. I'm also not as friendly to authority as they believe. Exactly, you have to be. I mean, at 12 years old, I was listening to full-grown adults and not, like, missing a beat. Even before then, I would call it, like, probably even younger. I knew exactly what was happening for most of my life, up until the, like, 6 or 7 years. I forgot everything beyond before 6 or 7. And haha, funny joke, yeah. But it's true. I don't have, like, I have visuals. I have, like, an image in my head of what things were. But there's no, like, connection to the visual. That's interesting, though, that he would choose that. That was kind of my line of thought, but I had the personal belief that I am a byproduct of the American society intentionally trying to, like, remove your morality and turn you into a perfect killing machine, which I think orphans technically fall into, kind of. They almost are like a perfect organism for that type of behavior. And they can become, like, violent without the repercussions of, like, the violent actions. And they tend to have, like you said, a more mature outlook, or even potentially a more immoral outlook on life. Like I said, though, I've probably met two, because there's a difference. There's a person who's orphaned as an adult, like when their parents die. I wouldn't consider them. It's more so the people who are as the child. And that alters not only their brain chemistry, but their morality, their social compass, everything about them. Like, I was a pretty bad kid. But, like, anti-authoritarian type bad. Fuck the system type dude. But then I realized that anarchy and all that stuff is just as fucking full of it as the rest of it. The true rebel. It's an interesting path, though. I think that if I was able to, that's actually an interesting perspective, and I didn't think about. I probably would try to have it be other kids that experience, or grown-ups that had grown through the experience themselves as, like, guests. That way, it's like people who not only understand what I'm going through, or not what I'm going through, but what it would be the intent of reaching other people going through the similar experiences that we all kind of share. And it's not a specific thing to that life, it's all people, but it would be aimed at them. And it's kind of where a lot of my art, this is my most, like, open stream for a while, but a lot of my art delves into that shit. Yeah, I chose poverty. I chose starvation and poverty. You know, like, I don't mind it though. Like, I was able to get pretty far out of it, at least for now. I don't know how long that could last. But I'm nowhere near out of it, like, deep out of it, but I just equated it as, like, I don't want to serve a force of people that I'll probably disagree with and then fight. Yeah, I get that. Like, it's interesting, as you know, the one thing I think a lot of people, this is just an open thought though, this is, some people might read into it. I don't really crave that level of community, not anymore. At least I guess I did when I was younger. You know, I joined different groups, you know, like, I had joined a fraternity. The fraternity was a bad mistake. I knew going in how bad it would potentially be. And they had they kind of tricked us into believing that it was one thing and then flipped it at the end to like dupe us, or not the end but the middle point. And amongst other things, I'd already been through my whole experience and I was just not buying it. You know, I don't like the idea of like a bunch of fucking kids telling me to man up and be a tough guy, and they're trying to like replicate Navy SEAL tactics on me, and I'm like, I will fucking not take this shit. The only reason why I did was because of that brotherhood. And there is a person, he's a good friend of mine, Johnny, that he had actually been through the same kind of experience as me and joined for almost the same reason. And basically, it was the only reason why I even stuck out half of the shit. And he wanted to be in the military, and he also wanted to be in the FBI, etc. He was the perfect target. He was just this happy-go-lucky, jovial dude. He didn't have a care in the world. He couldn't see the bad in anything, and I think that was his biggest flaw, or rather his best quality, but what I saw as his biggest flaw. Because he could be in an area that potentially might need him to be aware, and he just wouldn't be. But he grew up in the white trash variant of what I got to grow up in, which is pretty tough. But that's interesting that you get to meet a person like that, and he's your friend still. Probably would like to talk to a guy like that. I always like to pick people's brains and see what they think or how they perceive things. And even worse, sometimes I'll break them down. Break them down and see what they're made of inside. See what kind of tasty goodums inside them. Kind of thing that you've been thinking about, boy. That seems mighty toxic. I feed on the toxicity. Like the dude from fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog, the fucking smog guy. The one thing that I did learn, though, yes, is that I should stop hiding who it is that I am fundamentally. Because irregardless of what I believe, people are going to make their own assumptions of me. So if I show myself as a character or whoever I truly am, it doesn't matter. If I was telling the truth or showing my fake face or whatever, people will still make their own damn assumptions on me. So I may as well, or at least this is the view I got to after many years of contemplation. I may as well do whatever the fuck I please. And yeah. So far, so good. Life has been much better after that revelation. But that took considerable amount of time to reach. And some people don't maybe have that self-reflective self or personality, but I do. I cannot help it. I am but a man, trapped in a clay vessel. Nice, so this region can get set up here. What do you got for me? Grain? We'll give you grain and cod. That looks good to me. That's good. I've always kind of wanted to have a family, like children and stuff, but he probably, and many others probably understand where I'm coming from. I don't know if I am qualified. I don't know if I have the qualifications necessary. That's a good outlook to have to raise a good family because of your parents. You know, like you said, this is more an open stream anyways, because like I like Six to talk most of the time anyways. I have brothers, right? And these brothers, they don't like me, most of them, or rather probably all of them. And you know, they've done that. You know, one of them has, you know, the happy beloved children, and they're basically, you know, everything that's not what I am. And like I said, I don't know if it's... I think it's selfish. It could be my own fear involved too, but I think if I was to try to create something that I didn't have with the intention of creating something because I didn't have it, it would be only in that purpose. So if I said I have no families, therefore I must create a family to have the thing that I never had. It's like, you know, I'm a carpenter. Well, I don't have electricians, so I'm just gonna go do the electrician work. He knows best. I had a bad father. I didn't have one, right? So it's kind of like if I was to say, oh, you know, not to be a good father because my dad wasn't there. I think I would just make mistakes that I never even could have seen, and I would maybe be good at it to a degree, but probably not as good as I'd like to be. Which would apparently make me a good father. I don't know. It's all convoluted. It's a very backwards issue because regardless of which way you go, you're always going to be kind of on one end or the other. Store all these excess goods here. Cotton, some grain. But he also went through Marines, which is, you know, significantly harder than anything I've ever done, so I'm sure that qualified him right there. To a degree. Oh, sell excess ore. And what else do we get? Oh, these livestocks. Sell them all. Damn, this region's big as hell. This one too. It's funny you say that though, because my other brother, my brother's son is very much like that. He wanted to be a military man and he wanted to be a family man. Now I'm 28. I'm also kind of already on my way out, basically, because I've spent most of my young adult life being a power lifter and trying too hard. I could probably pass, like, Army, definitely, in lower tiers, but there is absolutely no way I am qualified for, like, fucking Marine tier. Unless they are, like, lib retarded super baby Marines now or something, but I don't think they are. Sorry, I guess liberal might not be the term, because I guess I'm liberal too. But to be honest, it's more of like the money is the only value, right? I'd rather scrape on by. I knew from the get-go that I'd be a good YouTuber. I don't know if I'll be the best, but I knew that based on my other experiences online, I have had good luck. It's all about persistence. So the amount of time that I spend in it has always come back to me in a positive light. Or I could have been out there, you know, calling in precision tactical nukes. No, I'm just kidding. They don't do that shit. But I'll put it this way. If you're American, I got a 92 on my ASVAB. If you guys had to take that, you'll know what it is. Jesus Christ, this lightning is so loud. But what about my fiend career? Yes. What if the fiend career makes my life the best potential outcome? Think of it this way. Everyone can join the Air Force. Nobody can be the fiend except for me. You know what I mean? Well, not everybody, but pretty much anybody. it plopped in my lap. I had no other choice. I basically was like, well, the smartest outcome for me would be to, you know, follow all of the science. This is what I've been practicing and prepping for most of my young life. It's becoming something of like an entertainer type personality, which I've always wanted to do even before I knew about streaming. Before streaming existed, I had wanted to do YouTube videos. Exactly. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I'm not negative. I'm not trying to be like a negative Nancy. It's more so like, think of it this way. I have my construction in my background with that. Because of that, I was able to link and get actually like a form of renting going for people. So like people that I live with are under me, and I can be a jerk if I wanted to and raise rent high on them, but I have it just so that I can suffice, so that everybody is equaling out and actually making money and growing. Because for me, it's like the biggest issue in my city is that, you know, the impact of housing is really bad right now. So a lot of the landlords and people are overpricing rooms and spaces, you know, and creating this wealth dispersal like issue where people can't make it out of the city, or they can't even grow as a person because they're being fucked by their landlords. So in this unique scenario, I'm able to pay my rent and get all my shits situated basically with the same rate that I had before, while also having more space and helping a few other people close by, giving them access to things, you know, cheaper, and working together. If I was to, you know, join the Air Force, I'd be I'd be sacrificing my movement here, like everything I've been doing so far. Not movement, but like, it took a long time to get to this point. I had to make a lot of connections and a lot of backbreaking work, and it's still always like on edge because the person I did the work for, you know, doesn't view me with the best light, because my biggest challenge is not calling people out for their bullshit to their face. Or even worse, what bothers people is that I'm not always open to friendship, because I can read through people and they don't like that I do that. That makes sense. So that's kind of one issue. But I'm too old. 28, about to be 29 this month coming up, February. And then I'll be an old boomer tier gamer. But I'd be pretty, I think I'd be good at the computer aspect of it.
All I have to do is just fucking, you know, monitor fucking drone strikes on foreign territories and, you know, keep my mouth shut, which is two of the things I'm definitely really good at.
I guess I'm good at the one part. Dude, what the fuck? Why do I constantly get that boost? That is like the worst shit ever. The fiend lore is too established anyways for me to move anywhere else. I'm putting all my money on red. I think that's the term. I don't fucking care. Putting it all on fiend. I know, I'm joking. I say so facetiously. I think you're 100% correct that I'll be at what I would consider a peak of my creativity, my understanding. And I personally, I view life as like, sometimes people start at the top and they fall their way down. I think I started at the damn bottom and I'm working my way up. You know, to me, like a cup of clean water is joy. You know, things like that. Things that I hadn't had. You know, before I streamed, there's winters I spent in a house where I rented and I had literally no heat. You know, like literally holes in my walls because the landlord didn't want to fix those holes. And I could, but I didn't have the options or the ability of, paying for that shit. Like, I have the technology. Like, I know how to fucking patch a wall. I tried to tell them how to do it, and they just, and it's that level of, like, disrespect, because I'm not financially viable. Like, one of the biggest smacks in my face is I have a friend who has a large amount of money, because he's worked most of his young life. His dad owns a business. And when he came into contact with my boss treated him like a fucking, like his best bud. But because I'm like a poor bastard, he treats me like I guess I deserve that. It's an interesting thing. But it'll be the first type of person to be in your face telling you that he's on your side, he supports you, etc. Where the friend I'm talking about actually is there supporting instead of just saying it. So I've got a lot of like good and a lot of bad, but the one thing was I had sacrificed a large portion of my energy and time for my creative endeavors to help people like that guy I'm talking about, which isn't good, I've got a whole crap load of creative ideas, and I just didn't have the time or energy to do them before. It's actually like this right here. We could do tools, I think. No, we don't have enough technology. But I don't ever consider myself old. Damn. Did all of our people die? What the fuck happened? $564. Oh, okay. Ideally, though, my goal is to, actively stream games, make connections with people who I wouldn't have ever known before, unique games, get people invested in things they might not have seen before, eventually maybe get into contact with developers or modders or people like I have already done, like Goon and good friends, and, set up something where eventually maybe I make, content through that, like making voiceovers, or I do voice acting, or I do editing, art, whatever kind of thing, because I just want to be in that realm. And for the longest time, I held myself back because I felt like, a lot of people told me you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. So I was like, you're right, I can't. I kind of believed them until I started to like put a faith in myself. That only came about last year, and actually, last year. 28 years old, fucking finally put my foot down. But I've always held the belief that I'm about 10 years behind most people. So technically I'm 28, but kind of like a mentally 18-year-old. Still a young boy. I haven't developed. Those 10 years I spent as an adult were just kind of like the trial run to being an adult, the demo. Let's shove all these fuckers in here. I also do have plans to, if I ever do like well enough and I have free time and I don't work like my day job, I will try to get back into my powerlifting, as that is something I found great joy from. But that requires like free time, good diet, and dedication, which would take away from other things. But man, do I miss that shit. We're at such a good point with our city. How's our spear makers? We should probably check a couple guys in here. Only 5. How many are we producing a day? 2. 1.5 on that. I think the key now is to start expanding our tailoring operation here. So what we want to do is probably start by putting a real warehouse down. If we block this out, this will be basically removing that space as an issue. Alright, and then we're putting a tailor. Where's our other tailor, actually? He's over here. He's a military tailor, so we'll basically go like this. I've also actually... It's interesting I talk about these things now, because it's good for me to think. I've thought about being a teacher. A history teacher. I have an extreme interest in it. And I'm very knowledgeable about it. So I've considered it, but I know that I'd have to like jump through hoops and shit to get there. But one of my best life experiences came from a history teacher. He was a very wise man. There we go. Yeah, no, I am not a physically good runner. I get winded. So, I wouldn't really be interested in trying to do like a force of military that's designed about like how long your endurance is. I'm more of a like I can pick up heavy things and move them kind of guy. But you gotta see it from my perspective. There's less that the military has to offer me than what I can offer myself. I only think that the military works for a person who has very little option in their path, especially younger people. But for me, it's more like I would work at a grocery store the rest of my life while doing side streaming and making the fucking... It's not bad money, you know. Assuming that the streaming and all that shit doesn't dry up. The streams, all the rivers run dry. And then I'll be up shit's creek without a paddle. But I think that the Zoomers will continue to purchase and consume content just as much as my generation did. They must consume. They are obliged. And if they do not, then they will be forced to. So this building is good. Set a worker there. Set this guy to this. So 2 of those a day. I think what I want to do now is probably build a true carpenter building for the boys to craft in. It's already noisy in here anyway, so it doesn't matter. We'll put the storage bench here, and then we'll put our workbenches Here we go. We can just take this bad boy out here. We'll expand some space over here. Also, I smoke way too much fucking weed to be doing a military operation, man. I'd be fucking stoned to the bone. You know? I'd cause a friendly fire incident. Although I know your answer is going to be that they all do. You'll never get me. Never. Never! I'd rather die. And then they'll be like, that can be arranged. We'll get you killed. They would Pat Tillman me so fucking fast if I was like in any kind of realistic like infantry operation or anything. If I wasn't like background, like I'm not even famous, but they would be like, shut the fuck up, you talk too much. And I'd be like, you are actually correct. Do we make the Taj Mahal of all libraries? Yes, or laboratories. This is the Taj of libraries. Are they all gonna be working here? No, not now, but eventually. There are plans. No, like I said, I've had probably so many different recruiters, and they're very nice people. Like they said exactly the same things you're saying now to me, you know, and it's hard to be like, you know, because that's their job, is to be super friendly and nice. But like without being too morose, you know, I think that it's fucking a waste of time. Like it's not like you're in the past where you're like, hi ho silver, and you're like a good man. None of that has ever been true. Like I said, I know too much history. Most, if not all, humans are fucking terrible scumbags, and I would see or witness something, either hear it or whatever, that probably set me off and would leave me with probably more trauma than I had entered with if I was actually deployed, which I believe is going to be the case in the coming years. I think that there's a high likelihood that the military will be used, and in most cases I think it will probably be used against the poor innocent civilians of our nation. Yeah, well, I hate corporations, and I hate military organizations, and I also hate authority. I think I also hate people who come from that kind of background anyways. It's like I said, I am way too on like on the other side of the party for that. I am very like center leaning. I can't not see through the bullshit, at least in my mind. But I've had this conversation with many people. Goon is a veteran himself, and I've had this with him. But I am definitely not the guy. I'm fucking so fucking 28 years old. If I was to go back to 18 years old, maybe, but even back then I had the same mentality. It's fully mostly to do with the fact that I don't want to do all the work. Even in the Air Force, I know you wouldn't be doing much, but the other half is that I'd have to sit there with a shit-eating grin on and talk to people I don't want to talk to, or interact with them in some fashion. At least in this sense, like I said, I have more power. Like, I'll give you this input. I had made memes on a meme page for a long time, and I'd have like actual companies with like, you know, millions and millions of dollars coming to me and saying, how do you make a page so big? We're a company, we want to have a large page. And my first response is always laugh at them. Because it's like, you can't. You're a fucking company. And that's before people were like making fun of them for making memes. Because amongst my peers were other people who were like, well, okay with just telling them how to make money. And whether it made them or not, it just, they sold out. I couldn't. I just chose to not. I chose to be an idiot clown. Like, I'd rather be a jester. That's what Fiend is as a character. He's a clown. He's a little, like, goblin clown. That's where I feel most comfortable. I spent too long trying to be other things. Like, for example, like, because of my upbringing, I had free college. And most people go, wow, you had fucking free college? That's awesome. And I'm like, yes, but I also didn't want to be in school. I would have probably preferred to just not go into school right after high school and saved it till I was like 30 or 40.
Because now I'm older, I actually don't mind sitting down and doing paperwork or homework or whatever. As long as I'm interested in it.
And it's not annoying. I kind of want to fix this and make it a little bit more space so they could walk through. My direct plan, though, is that if, for example, where I'm at now, I make alright money doing YouTubing and streaming, when I actually hit like a good stream of people and followers and etc., which takes time, I won't have to consider these things. My biggest concern is that there'll be like another PewDiePie incident or streaming will lose its value. I think that the meme space is corporate, yeah. I think that... Maybe you'll see from my perspective that I don't... One of my biggest driving factors is not money, but knowledge. And I would rather live like Diogenes than any other type of philosopher. Despite disagreeing with him in most regards, I'd choose his style, like live with the woods and or with nature. He's more of a twat anyways than anything, but I would try to be more like a nature hippie than anything. But memes sold out long ago. They were a counterculture thing, and they became culture. So they couldn't... Once the meme hit progressive mainstream existence, they no longer were... The second a meme... Like when Meme Historian reviews a fucking meme, it is no longer truly what it is. It's just become something else. If that makes sense. And it's the kind of trouble with memes, is that they can't be controlled or contained in any fashion. That's why I said I'd rather do the Fiend thing, because I can't... No one can replicate the Fiend. Someone could literally take my profile picture, all my art, and do all that stuff, but if they are streaming and talking and they didn't do the stupid weird shit that I do, they're not going to replicate the same success. Which encompasses a wide variety, like my fucking 20 years of stupidity being a class clown. You know what I mean? So it's the same, like, how can you take a corporation that's been, you know, corporate for 40 years and try to make them goofy, like Wendy's? Yeah, exactly. That's the truth. Like, and I brought up that earlier, that the men in the world who had the best chance of leading other men are women abused, are you know, women typically rule their world, and that was Alexander, Napoleon, types of people like that. Probably Diogenes. His mom probably took care of his ass, and when she was gone, he chose to just live in squalor. And they're typically far smarter than they appear. That's one of the things. People who are lazy are often very intelligent. That's a tough one, though. If, like I said, if I had a choice, there's a guy that lived in Alaska. I think his name's Dave Protke or Protnoy or something like that. I don't know, but he went to Alaska and he just has separated himself from society, kind of deal. That has always been my intent, not to go to Alaska, as that's far too off the grid, but you know, make a suffice or a livable amount like you do through IT. You know, remote living, have a computer, some Wi-Fi or whatever, and you know, avoid society so that I don't get caught up in the nonsense. We have that ability in this world, and I'm sure many other Stoic philosophers would find what I'm doing as pathetic, but the only other alternative is, you know, through active rebellion and anger and angst, and spent most of my life being angry. The last couple months, like maybe 6 months ago, I chose the idea that I have to drastically alter my perception on reality, especially when it comes to frustration and anger. So that's something, and that's kind of why I would even agree, like, I shouldn't even join the military. My whole goal is to, like, soften my responses to people, which tends to not happen as much as I'd like. Are we taxing this? No. Probably should. Actually, you know what? We'll do this guy and we'll switch him over to Baker so they're in line with each other. I'd rather do this and get this going here. It's worth a lot. Opiates would be pretty good. Do humans like fish? I don't think they do. Eggs and mushrooms. Need to unlock globules and mushrooms, but we do have the technology. Probably not worthwhile to get right now, though. Just go for that. That way we can take our stone miners back. But I think if I was to put even a small portion of this energy, kind of like what I do here in my 6 shit, like I said, it will return, you know, just what I need. I think there's just enough people out there who want to listen. There's just enough people who need help that not only will I help others, but I'll be helped in return. It's the same setup I have with the close people near me, where I try to give them, you know, good housing. With, you know, like I had to literally get into like a fucking full like bitch out on one of my fucking landlord's workers because, you know, he treats me like I don't deserve respect. But I needed those people to get the things they needed, and that required me to, like I said, be a jerk. You'll find in life that the worst challenges you have to be mean sometimes to get the things you want. Is if you're nice, they tend to not value you or treat you with respect. It's a difficult situation. But my core philosophy is that typically humans are trying to, if they're in a smart you know, with a thought-provoking intention, they're going to be trying to strive for what they lost, which is their childlike innocence, in my opinion, their youth. Hence why I find gaming to be such a good thing. To me, it's more like peaceful than anything. It's a pretty good foundation in there. We probably should put this up here. Never gonna fill this up, so set this like that. Right, set this up like this. Need a bit more flowers. See, I don't get that. Why can't I fit those there? Come on, you serious? There we go. Nice big old graveyard. Get these boys going. Drop some of this off here. And the rest with stone. Now, smelter. Smelter boy. We're gonna expand you. Give you a little bit more space. Can I fit the other one? Oh yeah, baby. See what we could do with these. Perfect. Oops. Oh, I'm trying to take out the door, that's what it is. There we go. Only have the 11 extra government points. How the fuck are we losing so many people so fast? Give me some more babies, goddammit. Alright. Put those workers there. Need to build somewhere for the tools. Now the question is, do we move this out here? I think so. As much as I do like it, we're gonna take this out here. We can actually keep these probably, because we just need this space for the building. So what's gonna happen is we will build smithy, I think a warehouse, going all the way. I gotta make sure they can actually get into the grain building here. I know what I gotta do. Alright. Set this like this. This is for tools. And probably also some of the materials they need. So we'll have a door like that going through. Like this. No. And then we go to crafting, smithy. Get the smithy in here. Before we do anything, we want to prep to have the door like this, I think. Alright. You don't need a lot of guys in here, so we'll just build the basic one. Really? Thought that'd be good. Nope. Okay. That's fine. Ideally, we don't want them going through there. Let's fix this. Get out of here, bro. Yeah, let's give you Woodtown. Sure, buddy. Good God. I hate when you accidentally click a person, they send you to space. Alright, so we set these to tools. Then we can change this. I think what I do instead is this. Put... Oh, there are 23 crates in here. Oh, I see, there's a small one. Then we set this for metal. That way the space issue is kind of resolved a little bit better. It's not the best, but still. Somewhat. And traders should come and deliver it here. little faster for him there. Damn, we're doing pretty good. We're trying to get more spear guys working here. How many spears are we making? 22 spears a day. Holy shit balls. You guys can all have spears. What's going on? Why are we not training? Excuse me? Get them trained up. Seems like training got fucking broken too. Because they spend so much time trying to train dudes that don't need to be trained. I don't even know why all of these guys are not full right now. Why are there only this many? Oh, I see. Because we have 600 total, but there's only 550 people. All of our fucking group set. I wish that they would actively take from the one that's like this, though, instead of just a little bit of each. How are we doing on babies? Food's good. Let's take a peek at our services. Lavatory could be worked on. Fight pit, we gotta bring back a fight pit. We'll reorganize this little area here. Right. New fight pit. We're gonna need a new scaffold in here. Alright, get rid of this. Let's put some more decorations back. There we go. It's a much nicer little zone here. We still don't even have stages yet. I think we maybe need some more babies. Although I think we're at a perfect number for babies, because if we keep going, we might run out of fruit. Although we have pretty good fruit on the ground. Naya. Nah, I could do this and they probably will try to, like, declare World War on me again. Ah. Where are they? I think they're over here. Where the fuck is that territory that just collapsed? Probably out of my range. That might be a useful one to get, actually. Oh yeah, we need this. We need the second tier. Start exporting some of these spears. Alright, let's export spears, anything over 2,400. There we go. There we go. Start selling some of that extra spear. How many do we need? Oh, 3,000. There we go. Contention point here is metal. So why are we not getting very many of these bad boys? Probably also should focus on getting a little bit more law. Do I only have one guard post? Wow. I expected I'd have more than that. And then I want to put some shrines. Take a little smoke. Good timing then. Yeah, I try not to do it too often, but usually like once per stream. Oh, I smoke all the time. Try not to when I'm streaming. I'm addicted. I've been a bad, bad boy. Do you recognize where I got this guy though? Where I did it? Weed. I smoke weed. I don't smoke cigarettes. Not like it's bad, but I just don't. My girlfriend likes the tobacco. I'm not a big fan of the tobacco. I prefer the not tobacco. Oh damn, foundation, but it's only 99.31%, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, it definitely helps me with like a lot of different stress related issues, you know, like I'm a firm believer in like self-medication if you understand what you're doing. And I would consider that something like that for me. And I know a lot of people be like, well, don't do that, that's a cop-out. I have literally like so much history with fucking understanding emotions. I'm going to take the cop-out. I can deal with emotions pretty well, but I think there's a fundamental issue when your brain just starts to heat up and you get angry for like almost no reason. But if you smoke and you don't, there's something there. It's almost like a sign. That's what I believe, though. No, that Fiend character is based on the new Welcome to Derry show on HBO or whatever. He only appears when I'm smoking on stream. But he's supposed to be Bob Gray from the new It. He's looking at the kid, and the kid's like, I can't find my mom. He's like, yeah, well, me neither. Thought that shit was fucking funny. But most of the fiends are originally drawn with no character behind them, but sometimes I get a little inspiration from real characters to draw fiends. The biggest challenge for me is whether or not I can work fiend into a comic type character. But ultimately, I don't know if I can expand on the fiend as a character. I might have to establish one of my others. I have quite a few. Or potentially make a new character, which is always my favorite thing to do. But like my inspirations are a lot of like Diary of the Wimpy Kid, Calvin and Hobbes, Captain Underpants, stuff like that. Like, you know, kids' cartoons or comics made by like average to amateur level artists. But I learned something when I was younger that the key to making a good cartoon or character in like a comic is making something that's unique and difficult enough that the person who sees it can't do it, but it looks simple like they could. And I found that that's interesting. Don't tell me it's a cope, you motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I do see that. For me, like, I'll put it this way, right? When I was younger, I was anti every drug possible because my parents were drug addicts. So I was like, they're the worst. I accidentally got like a flake of weed in my mouth as a kid, and I was like, I'm gonna get high. I need a doctor. and I'm like tweaking out. And that level of experience is obviously the far end of the spectrum for weed users, like or drug fear. Because Dare and all this stuff was popular when I was still a kid. Until you realize, like, the people, because I even treated people who were using weed as like they were bad or someone who I shouldn't be around, despite those people being actually very good for me and helpful. Now, do all people who smoke weed have that quality? No. I think that most are idiots. That's true to human nature as well. The cope aspect for me comes from, like I said, when I was a kid, I didn't have that, so I was naturally a fucking raging crash out anyways. So to have something that was able to relieve that without, chemically altering my brain through like a pill, I was accepting of that. And the initial reaction I had was very poor, actually. I had like almost like a trip out session, and I didn't even smoke that much. And most people I talk to have never had this experience. But I basically lost like all functionality, and I was like confused and dazed and scared and fucking pathetic. And so I decided, no, I'm never going to smoke again. And I didn't for like a year. And I was 18 at this point. I had already decided that I wouldn't do it until I was like 18. And when my brother, who's not really my biological, but someone I consider like that, came along, and he and I spent all our time together because he's my roommate. Like, he took me out of like where I was at. He was smoking, and he had gotten me contact high, which basically was like, oh, okay, I'm chilling, I'm not stressed out, and everything is okay. So I realized, I was like, because up until that point I had just been my normally angry as fuck fiend self. And I have a notoriety in that, especially going back to that point in my life. But that change, I started to take that as like, okay, maybe I do this as like once in a while to calm down, stress reliever. And then it became like all the time. I could maybe drop it if I had a stable point in my life where I wasn't frustrated, especially if I was like full-time streaming. I probably wouldn't really as much. I would do it like at night on Fridays, whatever, because to be honest, I don't care at that point. I wouldn't be stressed out, but I have like my day job, which that, and then the eternal stresses of like debts that I have and other things. So it's like a coping mechanism for sure. That debt that I have is accumulated because of it, but at the same time, it keeps me from probably potentially crashing out on someone in a way that I probably could have avoided. Exactly, like the gym, and that's where it came from. So when I went to Job Corps as one of my many different things. I went to college, I went to Job Corps. And that experience, that's a federal program, you're not allowed to smoke on it. So if you do get caught, you're fucking terminated, you're gone. They literally call it terminated. They would essentially send you home with all your shit in a plastic bag. And being someone who has no home, and the person that I was living with moved to Texas. Thank God they moved back after I left. But brief period of time when I left, there wasn't them being here. So I was afraid that if I got kicked out, there'd be a problem, which smoking was a problem, apparently, which it had just become legalized. So it was this whole conundrum where I spent all my free time now powerlifting, and doing other things, because I was so frustrated and angry that I was being controlled again, and I had signed myself up for it. I hate being controlled. And I basically was like, fuck this. I got super, super big and did all that. And then we found a way to get weed in there anyways, and we started smoking, and that was like the first time I ever lifted and smoked. And I realized that in order to compete at a serious level, I definitely need to smoke. And when I went back to it after I left and I was like a working class adult, that was like my go-to right before the gym. and then I would just go crazy. Absolutely am. I miss the gym. Don't talk about the gym. I'll start doing push-ups and sit-ups right now. I'll go bust my 40s out. What? I think they're 45s, and then I have 50. Them's my curling irons. I fucking love it. But the biggest thing is I don't like attention. Like, I'll talk about it here because I can, and it's my fucking thing, but I don't like in public. I'll typically do, like... Sam Sulek's not my favorite type person in the lifting realm, but I think he's a great person. I do the Sam Sulek where you wear the sweater and just power lift. But I would never touch, ever, and this is the truth, I would never touch any kind of HGH or any of this steroids. My brother did that, and, you know, he got those super big gains, you know, but it'll never compare, in my mind, to the true gains. I want to see the true potential of my size. And like you said, you're not done. I'm at my 30s. I think I'm gonna hit my peak within my 30s. My max was 465 on deadlift, or like the 3 plates and an additional couple plates, I think it was, and then now 360. I think it's 4 plates. I did a lot. I did quite a lot of deadlifting and power or squatting. I hated it, the deadlifts. I don't ever think I'll go back to doing them seriously. Or maybe I will. I don't know. I have very good form. And it's surprising how many people in my community actually like lifting in this sport. Somehow managed to attract all of the like-minded people around me. Well, one day I'll do a powerlifting stream for fun. The most outlandish thing somebody will see. I don't know. Do people do powerlifting streams? I feel like I could corner a market. Become powerlifting fiend. I don't doubt it. I mean, my brother got huge after it, but like, it's like, you gotta understand how much of a rebel I am. I would rebel against myself. If there were 2 of me in a room, we would kill each other. Simply to prove dominance over one another, verbally or physically. Even smoked up, we would do it. I don't know how. I'm a freak. Something. When God created me, he basically dropped too much shit in the kettle. He said he didn't know what the fuck he was doing on that one. Nah, I'm joking, but seriously though, I just don't. I don't have a problem with people who do it, but for me, I guess I'm fundamentally scared of changing what I am and then becoming so addicted to that I couldn't change, if that makes sense, or stop. Because I did recognize the sight, or the is it the body dysmorphia that you get or whatever. I guess if that's the truth, yes. No, I mean, I guess it comes from like yeah, I think so. It is definitely an insecurity. That's what I was literally about to say. It's an insecure mindset. It's all I recognize every aspect of my like inner thoughts, but I don't often it's like the disconnect. You know, you could see it and then you do it and you see it. Stupid shit. But it's always very funny to me. Like, I always find it funny when a person or female is interested in me and they then find out how strange I am. And they're like, oh, something was wrong, I could tell. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And it's like a fucking variety. Because normally people, I think, get their insecurities from being like bullied or whatever, but mine's come from like 400 sources. That's why, like I even said, I initially had been so skeptical, even to this day, about explaining background things about myself. Never. I am not a beta. No, I mean, what I always hit people is to what degree, and most people go, they can't really respond to that question. But like, something will be like, well, why? Who are you to comment on something? Like, what makes you special? You have no success. And I'm like, in what regard is success? What are you defining your success by? If success is I made $1 billion and I exploited as many people as possible, then that's good. But if some people's form of success is I wanted to become a fucking nature photographer. I wanted to prove to myself that I could actually own a house or something along those lines. And that's a form of success. You set the goals, the defining factor for reality, not society. Unfortunately, living by other people's codes is going to just net you an unhappy life. At least my perspective of it. I'll play the alpha bear in my room. So I'm not a part of the pack. I'm just part of the bear pack, the one bear. Or my girlfriend and I. Still kind of just one bear. But streaming is a good outlet for me, I think. I've always seen it as something I've wanted to do since I was like 15. Before that, probably. 13, probably. But I would have fucked it up egregiously. I had some of the most wild opinions. I'll see a post I said like 11 years ago and I'll just cringe into the next dimension. And then I'll silently delete it so that hopefully my internet history is cleared. But it's there. I'm fucked. I was a wild child. Sometimes children are not allowed to have, they shouldn't be allowed to have the internet. But at least I could argue in court that I was under the age of 18 and had no education. I put my hands up. Please don't shoot me for all my bad opinions. Yes, you're right. Yes, I agree. It's funny because your name's Yes, and then I'm saying yes. There is the things you can control and the things that you cannot control. I cannot control the way that other people work around me, but I can control the localized perspective. I think that's what people never see. Now you're digging deeper into the inner psyche. This is why I love Six, because I get to control. Oh, well, that's the difference. I guess you're correct in that. If, for example, right, like we're 1945 or 1941, Pearl Harbor just got bombed, my personality would be to follow the leader. I would join, I would fight, I would protect my country, as I believe fully that that's a good moral thing. Even despite my other views, I will let go of that. But I analyze things too much. In the modern times, I'm like well aware. Like you said, if I were to join, I'd be like part of the company. And I don't want to be a company. I don't seek camaraderie anymore. I don't seek brotherhood. I have brothers. I have good friends and people that are close. And I think I'll make even more as I develop a character in more artistic world. So that's where I take charge. But the following aspect is that I didn't want to not be doing what other people did. So like, for example, I didn't want to copy certain things that other people I like do. But then I had to let go of that and I would follow them. I will follow people who've done things before me, especially in art, media, and stuff. I can't be the originator of all creation. I am not that creative. So I get exactly what you're talking about. I do follow, and I do lead. But when it comes to certain things, like especially like, you know, things that pertain to my existence, my background, I've been in groups of people where they all just kind of look at each other and they go, I don't know what the fuck to do. And I'm like, all right, grabs all three of their hands and I'm like, let's go. But like, for example, like me and my girlfriend, she's much better with certain things. I will just let her take full control. I'm like, I do not know. Lord, take the wheel. I'm not gonna try to prove that I'm right in something I'm not. I'm not good at that. But that back to that level of control thing I was talking about, it's definitely why I play games like this, because it's the things out of my control. I think that's why I got so frustrated in the past over Six's changes. They were out of my control. And somehow in the hands of other people who, you know, squandered it. Where's our other... This is our guy here. Wow, look at all that maintenance. My confidence lies in only a few things. One of those is history. When people talk to me about history, I get very frustrated unless they have like a degree, because most people's interest in history or things like that were very like minimal, at least from my perspective as a kid. And because of that, I get frustrated when they try to have an opinion. I shouldn't probably be that frustrated, but I do, because I'm like, you can't not have an interest and then all of a sudden have a vested interest in it, despite not having done any research. And then fuck you kindly. But like, I was honestly gonna ask you like computer-based questions. I was gonna be like, you need to join the Discord so that I can IT support talk to you, because you probably know far more about a lot than I do. I'm fucking not that smart. You're being incorporated into Fiend Army. You thought you could recruit me to the Air Force, but I'm recruiting you to the Fiend Force. Welcome aboard. Now you have to submit $500,000 in dues. These are back payments that you had owed because you have been apparently part of this community, but you didn't say anything. Or you may have been saying things, but I didn't notice, and now, therefore, you have to still pay back taxes, because this is America, after all. Sorry. You have to put a... If you have a house, you have to put a second mortgage on it. I think that's what happens. I honestly don't know how housing works. That's beyond me. I don't get one of those yet. Potentially ever. I'll have to put 250,000 hours on 6. Just to make it for a house. See, money doesn't drive me, honestly. I just want to buy a house. But I have plans. My construction background lets me have a little bit of leeway and you know, kind of work around. I think one of my main ideas would probably be to, you know, self-renovate a property, as I have done it for other people plenty of times and never got to see the value returned to me in any fashion. But that's quite alright. I'm not interested. I don't care. Just kidding. What is it that you exactly do? Are you helping old people with their technological problems on their computer? Are you signing them into their password? Or their account, I should say, helping them find their password? That's how my job is, though. I stock shelves currently. I went from carpentry and all the other plumbing and electrical shit to just stocking shelves, because I needed a break, and it's a great job. I like to just be able to sit and pull things from crates and pallets and put them out. But it is actually physically demanding, unfortunately. And I can't watch PewDiePie or any of the big, huge... No, I'm just kidding. PewDiePie's not even interesting anymore. I don't get to watch fucking I Show Speed or whatever do backflips in Africa. The fuck, man. It seems to be his favorite gimmick, is to travel across the planet and do annoying things in public to people. Create crowds. Well, I'm going to now hack into your security network and break into, like, the 1990s hacker that I am. I had to do that for the sound effects. I am in. Oh, well, when you get your masters, don't forget about old Fiend here. See, I'm laying the seeds now, the foundations. So that when 50,000 people become masters and become doctors, they won't forget old Fiend here in the streets. And when I shake my cane out and I go, please, cyber change, seed, please, I'll do a dance, do a jig, and have a meme for you, please, please. And then you donate 5 cents. It's great. No, I'm just kidding. I'm being sarcastic. I'm okay with the ad revenue that you get from these things is actually pretty sufficient. It's just determined by your numbers. What's your master's? I'm assuming in IT, or not IT, computer science. I need to make a chain-jingling fiend. Like his can out. That'll be a good one. If I ever remember. Come on, buddy. Here we go. Finish her up here. How the fuck is this not filling up? That's my question. Also, when you said sock analyst, my first thought was suck analyst. Just so you know. The suck analyst. Which, according to some people, might not be too bad. So now we officially doubled our baby potentials. What we also need to do is have an import depot ready for the babies in case they... Okay, we could just turn this bad boy back on. I bet you didn't think I would cyber hack you also today. Most people don't expect it. But I got infiltrators all over the planet. I've hacked into every network across the globe. And I'm mining Bitcoin. I think. I used to get told by a lot of people that I should start doing that. And I was like, I think you vastly underestimate my intelligence and the level of capabilities I have. Holy shit, you have a master and major focus on penetrating? Holy shit, bro. No, that's pretty cool though. That's like beyond my intelligence. I definitely don't think I could penetrate on your watch, buddy. I think you got me. I think my penetration gig would be up. But if you want to watch penetration for a security for a security gig, you go ahead and be my guest. I'm not gonna stop you. Oh, I do it all the time at my job when I want to not have to deal with their firewalls and stuff. They have like first grade level security. I mean, you have to have like a level of understanding of like firewalls and shit to even own a computer as a home user. I've broken my system down to like pretty deep levels. Like I've rebuilt it and done all kinds of stuff. I just built the pre-built because I didn't want to be responsible for the actual mistakes that you can make when you're building one. Like fucking cementing your fucking fan or whatever to your bitch, whatever it's called. I forget. See, that's the problem. That's why I didn't want to do it. I don't remember the name of all the materials and the tools and stuff. I'm a hack fraud. Dude, are we good yet? What's with the food, huh? What's going on here, guys? How many are you making today? 17 a day? That don't feel like 17. I'd say 1 a day. What's happening here? Insufficient workers allocated. Yeah, no, cybersecurity is scary as hell. I might have to get like an actual VPN or whatever, like an actual like real level of security if I even surpass like I never even expected to hit 2K. I probably should have already done that by now. Because at like 1,000 likes on my fucking Facebook pages, I used to get harassed and scammed and bothered. Still surprised I don't on my YouTube, but I think it's because the difference is YouTubers are typically followed by real people, where Facebook's like idiots that are scammers. Well, exactly, but man, you're right in the sense, like, but the thing is, you have to see it from my perspective. My football teacher literally looked at me and saw how bad he was. My teacher in IT as well, or like computer science, and he was like, "Why aren't you doing your work, Jeremy?" Oh, fiend, and he was like, "Oh, you don't understand it, do you?" And I was like, "I do not understand any of this shit, like the codes, etc." I exposed my real name. It's okay, I don't even care. But he fucking basically was like, I understand. And from then on I was like, I don't really want to try. I'm not really good at it. I've always been more artsy, like in art class, which is right next to the computer class. I was like responsible for a lot of like the big man lifting things and all that stuff, but they never really knew how like artistic I was. Even the teacher was surprised when I drew a face that was like very realistic, and she was like, "Wow, you're actually one of the best like artists I've seen come in here and draw a face." And I was like, "I feel like I'm garbage." She was like, "No, you're not. You're actually good at it. You just should focus more on it." And I did, and that's kind of why I got good at facial expressions and stuff. But I'm not good at bodies. I can't do necks. I can't do, for the most part, any other part of the body or different angles on faces. It takes a lot of time, practice. But I want to do like the artistic aspect, which to me is more the vocals. I mean, I could, once I get my situation set up, I want to have like soundproof area with dedicated like vocals. And I mean, you could just set up like a Fiverr or whatever and just start doing random voice acting jobs or whatever. Even now, do it for fucking free. And I have a unique enough accent and character, I think. But I'm not very good at that. Like if it was literally just truly sitting around watching a screen and like it gives you a dinger that says, "Oh, this thing's being bothered," but I feel like you need to know coding and you need to have experience and how to like actually do shit. I only got into computers like 6 years ago. We're consistently just like below what we want for population here. MFA? What's that? I have like a couple layers of security set up, like specifically that I get emails on every single thing ever, and I'm always on my phone. So like if somebody has access or tries to access one of my accounts on either streaming or YouTubing or Twitch, I should say, I get an email instantly. But I do probably have plans to change that. I probably will tomorrow or today. But the joke is they, like I said in the past, they would actually be getting scammed. All that work,
I'd basically be taking money from them at that point. They wouldn't get $1 from me. They'd maybe take my channel down, but then I could just make a new one and be Fiend 2.0 and fucking get 100,000 subs. Come out as the new Fiend. Like I said, they could take everything from me, but they can't take me. They can never take me.
there's no possible way. Oh, multi-factor authentication. Yeah, I have that on my phone then. Okay, so I'm more cyber secure than I thought. I am cyber secure. Like you get those fucking... I need like sound effects for like Optimus Prime to come in there. I'm not like too dumb though. Like I understand it to a degree. I'm the kid that didn't do homework, you know. I just don't like it. I am not a big fan of like sitting there and trying to do all that shit. But I have this methodology where I put like a couple hours or, you know, at least like 30 minutes a day into each different activity or thing. Especially cleaning or fixing things. So like before stream I clean or I'll do shit like that. Make art. At least 30 to an hour every day. On something. I think what we need to do is start thinking about making... But we have good health. Trying to just think of how I would place this. Well, right now we need the people, so we wait for the people. Once we get the numbers back, then we can think about doing some other stuff. Ah man, I miss computer class. I was thinking, had me thinking about good old Flash game days. That's what I was doing when I had access to a computer. Gaming. To my core. I've always been a gamer. Can't take the game out of a gamer. I was very good at chess too, actually. It's not something like a brag, but it's more like I actually got, until middle school and early high school, I was like chess class champion. And then I quit and I stopped. I started to become somebody else. And I did robotics. That'd be something I'd be more interested in. Robotics. I had a very, very, very good time with robotics as a kid. I did the building. I did a lot of the like engineer or construction of the robots. And I did probably 5 years of robotics as a kid, which most kids can't even say they even know about robots. But I was doing, we started with Lego robotics, which is basically like minimal servos, like optics for lights, sensors. You have your little computers and all your motors and all this stuff on them. And then you create basically like robots for a task or a program. So there'd be like this program that is like pick up a ball, move the ball, put it on a thing, and then, you know, shoot something down, knock something over, open a door, stuff like that. And they would be little tests for little robots. And then we got to go, I did 2 years of that, and then I did high school robotics. So 4 years actually, not 3 or 5. And high school robotics, we had like, I think they're called hex robots, little like metal robotic type things. And you actually, that's just an upgrade of the Lego robot type things. And the same thing, we were doing tasks. But luckily they had me on their side because I had already done the Lego robotics. And I was very good at it. We won that. And then I graduated. Never got to do any more. But if I had stayed in my middle school and went to that high school, I would have probably, or rather my elementary school. No, it was my first year of middle school, yeah. That middle school, I would have. That school, that high school in that region had like a robotics team for their high school. And you could join it, and I would have joined that shit. I would have probably never played football. Or maybe I would have, I don't know. My life would have changed. But I was never going to be no NFL player. I definitely had a better chance at being a robotic builder or designer. But I feel like a lot of that knowledge has passed me by. It's the building that I retained, though. I just don't remember the, like, anything else. I didn't code or do any of the coding. I had, like, a friend who was very good at that stuff. Multiple police out front. That's not good. Alright, we're starting to catch back up. Our people should be growing. It's been mostly blabbing from my part, obviously. But we're just cruising our way along. We had 600 people. They all fucking died. Oh shit. Oh, I haven't been getting clay. I was like, did I have clay coming in? Got a clay region yet. This guy is perfect target though. They're very expensive. How many guys am I going up against, first of all? 177. Well, those guys sucked last time. I kinda wanna do these guys and just play around. We're gonna go fuck up. It's only 45, but I think that's pretty good. They're not even gonna fight me. You fucking chumps. Are you serious, you little bitches? Fucking bastards. They knew that I was gonna fucking clear the fucking map with them. Whatever. Fuck you. I can go work at Elon's new robotics factories that he's apparently all making. Apparently we have infinite resources on this planet, just like Songs of Six. To keep going. I think we should just dig straight into the core and you know, figure out what happens. Although I imagine underneath all the water there's probably lots of good stuff that you can manipulate, steal. Or, I guess, poorly utilize. Wait for these dumb fucks to all die. Really? Thank you. Alright, so we own this guy now. Let's put this up here. This guy and this guy would be pretty good. I kind of want to take this one. Just to do it now. He's got 155 guys. He's not going to fight me. Just gonna grab these guys for future endeavors. Ooh, actually, you know what? It's probably better to do the herbs from here. Because we can. It takes 10 for it, though. What did I put the other innovation into? Oh, we just simply don't have the humans there to get the innovation right now. Okay, that's fine. The challenge here is that I don't think I need more grain, really. Don't you talk about AI in here. Ban it. Ban AI. Ban it. Across the board. We need to return to monkey. You understand? Oh, I usually mute before I get the cough out. I almost died because AI tried to choke me with nanobots. Holy fuck. Dear chills. No, I don't like AI. Fuck that shit. That's trash. Like I said, I'd rather go live in the woods. I'm not interested in getting money. Or getting into tech or any of that. I'm an artist type. I'll entertain the tech bros while you guys do all your stuff, and then hopefully, like I said, you'll consider me an ally in the end, as I'm a jester and I'm part of the court. I'm part of the king's court. Please do not execute me. I require my head. Please, AI, do not rip my skull from my body in the head twisting machine. You remember that meme? That was a good one. Forget what that one that was. I think that's the first robot meme story. Right now we just got too many problems, or rather too much stuff is a problem, like I said before. Just balling out of control right now. How do we keep up? I don't know. Man, I need more people. Where are they all? How old are you all? There we go. Like 50 plus of these people are gonna turn adults. You know what I need to add to the Vance Fiend is the fa, like when they yell fuck, but like extended. I need to add that. Technically, also this is designed for any AI bots. I have this combo of memes, and then I tell them, "Get off my lawn." I get a lot of them. They directly inspired it. AI inspired creativity. How are we doing over here? Kind of convinced that we take this gentleman. We do this with this guy. Biggest challenge is he's providing me resources I don't care about right now. No, I don't think so. I don't think AI is the future because it's relying on things that are created prior. So that means it's the reflection of prior human ideology or ideas. AI cannot create. It isn't a form of intelligence. It's only replicating human intelligence. Motherfucker. So if everyone's stupid as hell and AI is trying to replicate them, it'll only be just as dumb as the stupidest people. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there'll be intelligent people amongst those dumb ass idiots, but they're not really going to be valued by society or recognized, just like they did in the Dark Ages. I think AI is definitely like your brain slop. It was designed with that intent. Like, I don't get any other feeling than, like, extreme cringe when I see, like, AI memes. I'd rather watch like the worst of the worst edited meme. How the fuck did we just lose more people when we just had like 50 fucking babies? Where did they all go? I didn't build anything. Did I? I need some houses too. Put a little bit of space for a... Kinda. I mean, like, I see supposed smart people go, "Hey, Grok, what's this? What was the Trail of Tears?" And it's like, are you that fucking stupid? Like, yeah, I'm sorry, but you didn't pay attention in school, so now you need a fucking computer to tell you? Just look it up on Google. And it's the same thing, though, but you're actually using your own damn brain to research it. To think about it. Comprehend the experience, the understanding of it. Or even better, watch it on YouTube. Watch a fucking documentary on it. Watch something, like... But it's always going to be biased information. Irregardless. And the joke is those guys doing that I've seen are at least older, or typically older people. So it's like, I think old people are fucking very susceptible to this shit. As an example, they have like AI-based businesses where they go basically and they try to sell you AI art that they created and supposedly made themselves for your streamer channel or whatever. So there's enough of a YouTube or streamer market that there's another market designed to sell those stupid idiots bad AI art for their channel thumbnails and stuff. Or not thumbnails, but like little characters. Oh, that's what I said. My logic is still flawed because the research could be... I said that. I said that the logic could be flawed based on the research being flawed. Because Google's going to give you what Google finds. That's why you have to alter your checking and find other information. If you just search one thing and that's what you believe... Grok isn't the worst of it, right? So if you have a AI app that's telling you something based off of a Google search, that's not as bad as you going, "Hey, make me a new script idea," or "Hey, draw me a character for my thing," or in this case, my local police departments or whatever are doing, "Make this guy buff shoveling snow with plow and all this stuff," and they're making memes for their fucking Facebook, right? Like that's where AI's issue comes in. It's not that it's Googling things, because you're gonna Google things anyways, regardless if you typed it in or you set it to be typed in. You could even use voice control and say, "Hey Google, what's this?" It's been a part of the... No, get out of here. I hate that it's literally like not even an option to say no. So I agree, you're right. But even if you went to search in the library and find your shit, you're going to get wrong information. You're going to get sources that are incorrect, outdated. And ultimately, information is funneled through a lens. So, like, my high school, like, actual background was film. I learned very quickly that what you see in the frame is intentional. So it's that exact thing. I am framing information for you. And how it's perceived is based on that. For example, I don't like certain group of people. Well, they smell bad. And they also aren't very smart. And you can't say I'm not telling the truth or not, because fuck you, bitch. It's literally just that kind of shit. It's like my opinion matters. For me, I look at history as like, I try to find the things that cannot be disproven, typically. Which is often like, you know, stone-based things are accounts that are written in many different ways by different people. Dude, what the f is going on, man? I need my people to give me stuff. I need more people. Wait, actually, I didn't check this. This region had good animals? No, it doesn't. I plan to change this area. Hmm. Can't do it until the people recover. How are you missing wood, my dude? It's right here. Oh, I see. It's not an important job, I see. Hopefully they'll fill those jobs up again. Could have sworn we had like 50 people. I don't really want to go for more regions. They're all just like staring me in my face. They're worthless to me, most of them. Need a coal, or not a coal, a clay-based one. Not a single region near there has it. Figures this guy does. I feel like I might need to build another one of these. But it's consuming 50 fruit a day, so that's quite a lot. There we go. Take all that extra fruit. want to start getting pottery going too, so we can start accumulating it. Alright, take that out. As these are going to be new homes, we're going to try to set up a new design here. Right. I want them to be like pretty far apart from each other here. I need to go over one more. There we go. They won't have as big of a backyard, but they'll have the sides of the yard. So we take it over 6, bring it up like that. And then what we'll do is we'll put a little well back corners for up here. Alright, so that's 40 new houses. It's nice that they still can't copy over any of the trees, but it's fine. That's excessive for the area, but I just want to have a lot in case they need them. And these zones aren't intentionally designed to line up with these, it's just extra housing. Because I might make another row of housing kind of like this going up. Or I probably actually, you know what, I have a better idea. What we do is we take it here like this and we flip it so that their backyards line up. They have plenty of space between them. Let's make sure we're not taking all our foundation. That's perfect. And that should be enough housing for the meantime. I think eventually, as it's going to be like downtown area, we might have to make like a straight row of houses. But we'll have to make their own little service zone for them. At least we're back past 600. Hmm. I really want that herb. That good herb. That's sad. We definitely do have enough fruit. We just don't have enough stored. The food stalls, why do I have many of them? Or in general, like, why are there so many in the zone? Like this guy here, he's just big because he fits the zone. There's a lot of people that live and work in here. Encouraged to have more than enough food for their service needs. Why so many? I do what I'd call like a grid space. So they're kind of like off-put from each other. This one is a little less necessary, but it's because the housing. Their houses are near them. So they kind of live close to their housing. Or work there, I mean. Ishar, yes, it is complicated. I think it is a very complicated game that takes quite a lot of time to learn, but if you watch or read or, you know, ask people questions on the Discord, you can pass a lot of those points pretty fast. The complicated stuff. But it requires someone who's willing to, like, learn and enjoy the game's difficulties and challenges. Okay, so there's some homeless people living over here. I thought these triplexes would be pretty good, but I guess not. We'll put 2, 5 lane road in the middle here before we add some more houses. I always just don't like dealing with the food stalls going down on their services. I like them being at 45. I always struggle with like markets. I probably should have another market, for example, kind of over here somewhere. Or even just a bigger market. Jesus. I even have tools in here. Thinking that's a good point to call it for today. Because I've been going for like, I think 4 hours. Maybe. Who knows? But thank you all for joining me. I will be back sometime soon, hopefully tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye.